Okay,
Okay,
so what are we
we're
talking about again
recording
today?
now. Folks, welcome to the MILFcast. I'm your host, the Epic Mario, and currently, as of right now, we are being joined by PK and Will to talk about the Nintendo Direct that we saw not too long ago.
It's me, PK, everybody's favorite piece.
So,
And then it's Will here, your favorite local piece of human shit.
yes, so basically, for those of you who missed it,
God, alright, we're starting off some positivity for today. Alright, let's go.
yes, so for those of you who don't know, back this past February 9th, 2022, Nintendo dropped a new Nintendo Direct showcasing a lot of games that are set to come out for the Nintendo Switch throughout the course of this year. There are a lot of good discussions.
And
There are a lot of good games, also some real not so good ones. But that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a lot of these topics, especially the big ones, and just discuss what we feel about all the games coming out. Um, so I guess first we're gonna start with a game that really caught my attention and had me off my feet. Mario Strikers Battle League. It's a new Mario Strikers
Finally,
game.
yeah.
After over
Mario
a,
Strikers finally came back after. What was the last Mario Strikers game? Like freaking 2006 or something?
the last
it
Mario
was on the
Strikers,
Wii.
yeah, the last Mario Strikers game, proper one we had really was Mario Strikers Charged, which released on May 25th, 2007, and now over a decade later, on June 10th, 2022, we're gonna see Mario Strikers Battle League come to the Nintendo Switch. So a lot of people have really been anticipating that for a while. So it'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So I think so. That's where we kind of get your input. What do you think about the new Mario Strikers? Really?
Um.
It's good. I'm like a bit afraid because they haven't, because, I don't know, the past like two Mario sports games have kind of been meh, so like, I'm a bit, but it's still Mario Strikers, so it's pretty hype. My main problem with the Mario sports games on Switch is that there's just not a lot of content in them, so I'm afraid that might also in the Strikers, so it's a bit worrying.
Okay, that's understandable. Actually, when I first came into the stream for the actual game, I ended up seeing what looked to have been a trailer for Fire Emblem Three Houses coming on June 24th, 2022.
It's Three Hopes.
Yeah, Three Hopes, whatever. Um,
It's basically Warriors Three Houses. It looks okay. I've never been a huge Fire Emblem person, but it's looked fun. I enjoy Warriors games. My main weirdo with it is because like, so Nintendo has made like two Warrior style games that are based off pre-existing Switch titles. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and Fire Emblem Three Hopes, and that's just kind of weird to me that there's two of them.
I've also never been a big Fire Emblem person myself. I've only heard of Fire Emblem from how many times it took over fucking Super Smash Bros. Like a lot of people,
I played it the GameCube one for a bit. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've heard of Fire Emblem, but like it's like one of those games where like it's talked about and stuff, but like literally not a single fucking person gives a shit about it that I know. Like not a single
Yeah, I
person
know
I
a
know
lot of
gives a
people who
shit.
like Fire Emblem. It's not a good. It doesn't have a good reputation because everybody associates it with ooh Smash Bros. Fire Emblem bad, and then that's what the series is basically associated with now.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, sad. I mean, maybe it's actually a good game, and we just get it tainted by
They're
taking
good
over
games.
Smash.
I know they're good games. Most of them.
honestly never played a Fire Emblem game. I don't think. It's like closest I've
Me
got to playing
neither.
Fire Emblem was
I have never.
They just don't look like my thing, really. But they're probably decent games.
You know what? Let me look this up real quick, so I don't sound like an idiot when I say. Um. Yeah, okay. So it's an RP. So it's basically RPGs, right?
uh,
It's a tactical RPG.
Okay. Well, close enough. Yeah. The point is, I'm not super into RPGs, like of any type. Tactical RPG, just RPG as an RPG. I don't give a fuck. I'm just not into them. You know. but
Closest I've
like
got to
not
playing.
like full blown.
It's like a Warriors game. So there's basically like hack and slashes, kinda, with like different characters and movesets.
Well, what else was on the direct?
Oh, yeah,
I have not.
we saw
They had a bunch. There were a bunch of ports of old
Oh,
games. Like
of course
you had like Assassin's Creed. You had Portal.
yeah.
Wait,
I
they
think
ported
we're-
Portal onto the Switch.
Yes,
Yeah,
Portal
both of
is
them.
coming to the Portal has been ported to the Nintendo Switch, so that's something to look
Yeah,
for.
fuck yeah.
That's
Let's go.
neat. That's like a kind of Switch game.
And Klonoa is coming back. Klonoa, PS1 and PS2's
Yes.
Klonoa games are actually hitting the Switch in a title called Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Series. That's coming soon. And then there's also we saw a new trailer for Splatoon 3, which reintroduces a salmon run mode, which is never got that because
It's
like
cool.
I never understood why they did a new
I really
salmon run. Because like for those of you unaware, when we saw the first trailer for Splatoon 3, we saw like we had a Salmonid as like what looked to be an ally for the protagonist, and here we are all of a sudden we have a new salmon run, which so like I don't know, that might be
It's a really fun mode.
yeah.
I hope that it's not. I hope it doesn't have that stupid frickin' what was it? It was like that timer, so like, you can only play it at like a certain time in Splatoon 2. So like I hope they don't have that because that was really dumb. Other than that, it looks really good. Salmon Run's a fun part of Splatoon 2.
And I've only yeah, I think Salmon Run's a cool mode just from what we saw in the most recent trailer and the first one. It just feels a little inconsistent, but it's not too inconsistent to really bother me that much.
What do you mean by inconsistent?
Maybe because I'm a massive Splatoon fan, and plus it's a freaking Splatoon Godzilla, basically.
Okay, what's wrong with that? That's cool.
I don't know.
I don't really see what's wrong with that.
Okay, I'm definitely excited for Splatoon 3. There's no proper release
Cool.
date just
I just
yet.
hope it's enough different
Like we
enough
like we
to
know
differentiate itself from
we
Splatoon
do
2.
know the game is set to come out in summer 2022. We just don't know exactly when in the summer. Like I'm thinking more of a June or July release date or August. Actually, no.
I think it's either gonna be like July or August.
Yeah, my money's definitely set to like August, I guess.
Gang, I just noticed too. I'm looking at the timestamps for one of the videos covering the direct, and apparently No Man's Sky is on there.
Yeah, not
Oh, yeah.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no.
I think it's like
No
a
Man's
port.
Sky
It's
is-
like a quad version for that.
And then it wasn't No Man's Sky like the earlier Cyberpunk, you know, when like it released and it had like a
Yes,
shitload
but also
of bugs.
it was shitty at launch, but like they kept updating the game to make it really good.
Oh.
It
Okay.
had like a shitty launch, but it ended up being really good in the end.
Alright, well that's fair enough. Okay, let's see here. Nintendo Switch Sports.
Nintendo Switch Sports.
Oh, yes.
It looks fun.
Yeah,
I feel like there's not like enough new stuff, and like the new stuff they added isn't like different enough. Like I'm pretty sure like volleyball and badminton are just variations of tennis, but slightly different.
Also,
New character. Yeah.
do you guys
The
see
new-
the Mario Kart 8 DLC?
Oh yes, Mario Kart 8
Yeah.
DLC. We have 48 new
I
racetracks
thought we were getting
planned with the first
48
batch
new
coming out in
courses.
Yeah.
Well, they're from old games. I find it really weird how they just refuse to let Kart 8 die. They
Like,
just refuse to let that game die. It's Assassin's Creed.
you can say all you want,
The
but
tracks look kinda it's still a lot of content. You get like a whole other game's worth of tracks for like $25, so that's not a terrible deal.
yeah, no.
I just hope there's more than the tracks though, because there's some stuff missing from 8 that I wish was there.
Yeah, and these particular tracks.
So
are
where
gonna be,
is
these tracks will be rolling out through 2023.
the tracks look kinda off.
Yeah, they don't fit. They don't really fit in terms
Like
of
they
like,
look very like
Like-
they don't look bad per se, they just don't look good compared to the tracks in the base game, but
Yeah.
They kind of look like they're recording from the mobile game, but that's still not bad. You still get like a lot of tracks. So it's not really a bad thing. So they
Yeah,
just look
I
kind of
wouldn't.
wonky.
I definitely wouldn't mind having more tracks. They just feel inconsistent.
Glad I
compared to
lost
what
my
you
copy of Mario Kart 8, so this is worthless to me.
it's a little disappointed that it's not Mario Kart 9, but at the end of the day, you gotta keep in mind Mario Kart 8 is one of the Switch's best-selling games, so it's only natural.
Mario Kart 8 is really like one of the best-selling games, and why would they make another one if that one kept selling? And they could just like update the game with new content.
Yeah.
Usually with Nintendo, it's like one Mario Kart for console, so you're probably not gonna get another one for like the Switch 2 or something.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's understandable. They've pulled out like just one Mario Kart game per system. Super Mario Kart, Super Nintendo, Mario Kart 64, Nintendo 64, Super Circuit, Game Boy Advance, Double Dash, GameCube, DS.
Yeah.
Wii 7, 3DS, 8, Wii U, 8 Deluxe Switch, so it's only natural they hold off with Mario Kart 9, at least till the next thing. Of course, Mario Kart Tour is a mobile game, so there's also that. Plus the arcade games,
yes,
but we don't talk about those.
I heard Tour has some cool tracks, so maybe that'd be good.
I don't remember playing Mario Kart Tour like a
Me
lot.
neither.
I think I've tried it once, but never got around to playing it like full time.
I heard it's kind of weird. Like, it's a fine game, but like the pay the win like aspects are like so important that they're just really hard to ignore.
Yeah.
Wait. What game are you guys talking about? Sorry, I'm trying to fix.
We're talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the new DLC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. So yeah, 48 tracks for, even if they're like most of them are probably old rehashes of old tracks, but for $25. Remember the base game released with like what 30 something tracks for like $60.
It released at 48. So like, the base game released at 48. So you're basically getting games with the tracks.
Yeah, you've basically got sort of a Mario Kart 9 right there, except it's just more DLC for Mario Kart. Oh yeah, back to Nintendo Switch Sports. Actually, I wanted to touch on like what they're doing with like the new avatar. Like I want to
bring back Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road. That's like the best. That's like the best Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. So I was going to touch back on Nintendo Switch Sports that's coming out soon. April 29th to be specific. I wanted to touch on what they've done for like the new avatars for the game. I don't understand why they did that, because like you gotta keep in mind like Nintendo Switch Sports it's basically supposed to be like the new generation of like Wii Sports. So like why not just focus more on Mii's instead of having to do like completely new avatars that people don't like.
The avatars, I'm gonna be honest, I think the avatars look fine. They just aren't really that charming.
They don't fit well, especially since like the Mii's have been more popular with like fans of like the games.
Yeah, the Mii's are more popular.
I think from the trailer it is possible to use your Mii's in the game, but the thing.
I'm fairly certain it is.
No. I think they do still use the Mii's, right? Yeah. But like the title page just has like different characters or something.
Yeah, it's more so. Yeah,
maybe that's the case. I don't know.
Characters in general. Also, yeah. So there's that. So just to mark it down, Mario Strikers, Splatoon 3, Portal to Switch, Mario Kart 8 new DLC, and Nintendo Switch Sports. All very fine games from what we've seen, just with a few flaws that really have us.
Also, Kirby became like a Vor monster or something.
Yes. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. We saw a new trailer for that. It introduces.
I cannot wait. That trailer gave me so much serotonin.
So that introduces the new mouth,
Kirby is always
which allows Kirby to inhale larger
objects. Oh yes, but in this one he literally just like inhales the car and like inhales like the object, and the object like wears him as a skin suit. It's weird. You have two sides. You think Kirby Car is either really funny or really disgusting. There's like two sides.
All of the above. You do not have to choose one or the other.
I think it's really funny.
Well, Kirby's always been a Vor monster anyway, always like just...
Yes, but like, he usually like inhales the stuff and swallows it. This time he's not able to swallow it, so he kind of just like, the car like wears Kirby, so it's like a... Does anybody have an image of like Kirby Car like post down like the chat to see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Because
Because like the Kirby car, that's been a meme ever since like the trailer first came out and we saw
He
Kirby.
wears
Nah. That's been a meme since before the trailer, where tons of people saw like it was like. a
no,
little
but the
figurine
difference
of
is like
Kirby
he
car.
wears it as a skin suit. But the car wears him as a skin suit. It's not like he becomes a car. The car is like wearing him.
Of course. Yeah.
Kirby gets into
you know,
War
It's
2022.
good.
I gotta say that, but that's a really good. That looks really good, like the graphics wise. But who gives a fuck about graphics? Let's be honest.
Kirby
Me, I give a fuck about graphics. Graphics make a game, make or break a game. Believe it or not.
Kirby gets into
You know
War
what? That
2022.
reminds me. That actually reminds me. Saying that actually reminds me. The X-Man made a video literally a couple days, like I want to say a couple days ago, about console fanboys, and how like there were people complaining that grass wasn't dynamic. Like there was like, like I think it was in Halo Infinite, the grass didn't react when you stepped on it. And people were like, "Oh my god, this game's literally unplayable." I'm gonna see if I can find the video. Actually, it's
Look,
absolutely
I really
funny.
like Pokemon Legends Arceus, but the game looks so ugly, man. Like,
It really
it still
does,
looks
but
the
I
game
like
just
the
looks really ugly. It looks like a PS2 game.
the game, yeah, it's the step that should have been taken like 10 years ago, at least.
Yes, but it's also really fucking ugly. Game Freak cannot make like a not ugly Pokemon Switch game. They're just not good at it. They can't make them.
We haven't seen.
They forgot they're not
He-
making this game
Here's
anymore.
the video. I found it.
We did witness Pokemon Legends Arceus, which people say it's good. Console fanboys are cringe. Yep, basically. What else is there? Let's see. Oh yes, that same
Pokemon.
day in the
Like the
Nintendo
number one.
that same day in the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo they casually decided to drop Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings to their Nintendo Switch
Fucking
online retro
finally.
game platform. So you can play Earthbound for
Like-
Super Nintendo and Earthbound Beginnings on the NES with the Nintendo Switch
Surprised.
online.
I don't know why it took them so long to put these two games on there, but I think I know why. I think it's just because Nintendo hates Earthbound fans.
Yeah, they do.
Especially
Nintendo just hates Earthbound fans, so yeah.
Especially since
I mean, yeah.
I'm like 99% sure they're like some Earthbound at least was was definitely a highly demanded game to be put on the service for like a while.
I'm a huge Motherhead. I love fucking Earthbound. Very cool game.
Can we call fans of Earthbound MILFs?
What?
What?
the
Because-
fuck?
Because
Oh,
they love
I-
love Mother. They love Mother. That's kind of the point.
No, they don't. They don't love mothers. They can't love them anymore.
Damn.
That was a reference.
Damn.
How can you love a mother that's... Okay. Anyways, Mother's cool. Earthbound's cool. Like it. Fun games.
Yeah.
Earthbound Beginnings is still a bitch, though, but... Yeah.
And we also
Universal constant.
and the Nintendo and in the Direct we also heard of we saw a new trailer for like the new Cuphead DLC, which is coming to the Switch on June
And
30th.
it looks really good. Too bad I probably won't play it because I am not good at video games.
This is much in tandem with the Cuphead show, which is now available to watch on Netflix.
Yo, Cuphead show's sick. Cuphead show slaps. I watched the first episode and I'm like, holy shit, this is really good.
By the way, speaking of Nintendo hating their own fans, they announced that they were going to be shutting down the Wii U and 3DS eShops.
oh yeah, why the fuck would they do that? I understand like the Wii U and 3DS are dead, but like, why would you just shut down the eShops? People
Well, no,
still
here's the
use
thing,
their
though.
3DS
Why they
and
shut it down? They did this in the Wii.
It
Like,
literally doesn't.
It's like 10 years old. They can't support it forever, but it's still really sad.
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I
know.
think as far as I can tell, I mean, this is like Steam, right? Like, as far as I can tell, it like costs like almost nothing for them. Oh, like compared to the profits that they make from like things like selling the Switch and stuff, there is no way it costs so much for them to keep that operational. That they.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah, it's stupid. It's dumb.
Cause like
It doesn't.
the
The
Wii
thing-
U
I can, no
turned
longer buy,
the
I can no longer buy Mario and Luigi Dream Team for $20, so I'm devastated.
Well, because
Hmm.
it reminds me of
I could get Mario and Luigi Dream Team for $0. Remember
Like,
what
have
we
any
talked
of you
about
heard
last
of the
time?
Driver series, like Driver San Francisco and stuff like that? Like, I've never played the games, but it is a game that I
But
know
also,
about. And uh,
I
and
don't know if this
Ubisoft, I
is
think, is
true,
the
but I heard they
developer.
made
But
like Pokemon. I heard like now Pokemon Bank's
bro,
like some shit.
bro,
I think that's something I heard on a thumbnail, but like maybe it's not true. I don't know.
my fucking god. Okay, look. So if I could talk without PK jumping in when I'm trying to talk, that would be nice. I'm getting way too aggravated.
I am horribly sorry. I made a continuous lapse in my judgment. Okay, you can talk now. Sorry.
Okay, so it reminds me of the Driver series. Ubisoft, I think, is a developer. It's like Driver San Francisco and stuff like that. And apparently, they took Driver Francisco down from eShops because it was quote unquote too expensive to keep up. Dude, it's a digital copy. The cost to keep that stuff on Steam or on the Ubisoft store is literally absolutely zero. There is like that's complete bullshit. Like that's just complete bullshit. It's the same thing I think with the
Yeah, I
Wii.
know
I
that's
mean,
fucking dumb.
yeah, I mean I think it might be the same with the Wii U store and the 3DS eShop or whatever, but I mean maybe it's not because it is Nintendo's own server hardware that they have to allocate all the space for to keep that running, but it's it's not going to adjust your cost because it's the same fucking servers. They were if I remember correctly, the servers for Splatoon 2 were still running Windows 98. So, uh,
Yeah,
that
it's
was a while ago, but
dumb.
still.
Nintendo making dumb decisions as usual.
Yeah. So listen,
Ninten-
Curtis. This brought
Nintendo hates legacy content.
They do.
Yeah, yes, they do. That's been established a long time ago.
Yeah, so this brought up the idea of like emulating 3DS and Wii U titles since they were shutting it down. There's CEMU, that's the Wii U emulators. Like you could play Wii U games on like your computer, but like as much as that's a cool concept, I am definitely not one that would want to play that simply because that would take up a lot of space just to put like one Wii U game on my thing. But
Just monitoring.
and at the same time, some places like my local GameStop, they still sell like Wii U titles. Some might still sell 3DS titles. Like so like
They do.
cause like
Games
like
that I think are pretty.
cause like I was cause like
But wait, I have to buy it at GameStop in the exchange for like $40 when I had the option on the eShop to buy Dream Team for $20, so now I'm upset
so like I remember
because they didn't get that $20.
because I know like I know Splatoon 1, like they have games like Splatoon 1 and like Smash Bros for Wii U. I like my local GameStop, they still have titles for that because like Splatoon 1 I actually got like in August of like last year for like a birthday present, so that's so keep in mind there are still some places to get your Wii U games, but I definitely don't think that'll last for long considering the Wii U's definitely getting much older now, so like at least like in another 5 years they might stop selling.
I don't know about that. GameCube's. No, I'm not sure about that. The exchange usually sells like a bunch of old. The exchange usually sells a bunch of old games for me. And GameStop still sells like DS games, so I'm pretty sure they'll still be selling Wii U games for a decent while.
Yeah, maybe that's possible.
Like, yeah, because like they still sell like regular DS games, so I think they'll probably still be selling those for a while.
And of course, there's Citra with a 3DS emulator, which allows you to get some 3DS games. But much like the Wii U, I think there's still some places that sell 3DS games because like for like the hottest like the wildest time long after like they stopped
Emulating 3DS.
because like
Problem emulating 3DS games is a fair amount of 3DS games use bullshit motion control
a
gimmicks.
lot of them use motion controls like so it's kind of like a big risk. You're better off trying to find actual copies of 3DS games for your physical 3DS if you're looking to play a game that has that kind of motion controls.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to be in for a try. Because like I tried the 3DS emulator a few days ago as of recording, So what I did was I went for a game to try. I decided to try Kirby Triple Deluxe on the thing, but like I ended up realizing
Yeah,
that
that game's
okay,
sick.
there was a level early on that required like you had to tilt the 3DS a bit. So like that I couldn't do that with the emulator, so I just gave up on that and decided okay, it's not worth my time. It's
So like the emulators only good for playing like Pokemon games, fucking, maybe like Mario Kart, and that's it.
yeah, in general games
Yeah,
that don't
I've been
require motion controls.
You can still play Mario Luigi Dream Team. You just can't use the special attacks.
I
You can't
guess.
just use most of the special attacks.
Yeah,
So you're
basically.
basically playing the game on.
playing a bunch of 3DS games using connected Wiimote.
Use the Wiimote to play 3DS games,
Yeah.
As God intended.
as God intended, as Father Miyamoto intended.
It's Father Miyamoto, Daddy Sakurai, who's the Holy Spirit? Oh, it's Iwata. Yeah, there's probably assassins coming for all of us now since we're emulating Nintendo games.
I don't care.
If I had a nickel for every assassin after me, 90% of them would be the Chinese government. Otherwise, the rest is Nintendo.
Anyways, we got a bit off topic. Let's get back to the direct. What else
yes,
did they announce?
the Kingdom Hearts games for like
Xenoblade 3.
what? Oh yeah, Xenoblade
They're giving a
Chronicles
lot more
3.
love to Xenoblade than it deserves.
Yeah, so
Who cares about Kingdom Hearts? It's a cloud version. Don't
What?
care.
yeah, so Xenoblade
Cloud
Chronicles 3
version.
was actually
Yeah.
the thing that actually closed out the Nintendo Direct. That was the last thing we heard of from the Direct. So
It's good. I played like a couple of hours of Xenoblade 1 and enjoyed my time of it, so I'll probably enjoy this one if I'm able to pick it up.
Here's a real question. Do they have big
What?
booty bitches?
Oh my
Yeah.
fucking god. Yeah.
That
Big booty bitches.
I'm also not a
Great
big
power.
Xenoblade fan, but from what I understand, the game itself definitely got some mixed results when I initially saw the Direct live. So
Yes, that's because everybody's like, oh my god, anime art style. That's what most Nintendo fans do when they see anime art style. They throw up.
I
Because they're
agree.
Nintendo fans.
I agree.
literally, I don't see why they
Yes,
complain
that
because
does
like.
not make me.
Because, like, Nintendo is literally
It-
based in Japan. Of course they're going to do some anime stuff here and there.
That anime art style thing kind of makes me a little concerned for my own.
Why?
Because in order to work within our budget for my video game of literally $0 at the moment, anime art style is probably the cheapest way I can go without having to pay like a bajillion dollars to hire a bunch of artists and stuff to make like the most realistic graphics of all time. So I basically don't have a choice but to go for that kind of art style if I want to save money.
I
I
see.
guess I'm gonna piss off a bunch of Nintendo fans. I just said Nintendo pans. What the fuck?
Nintendo fans. That's what they are.
Nintendo pansexuals. Nintendo sexuals.
Nintendo sexuals.
Have you
God
seen
damn it.
Samus?
Yo!
Yo, Samus.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen Samus.
Samus is very cool. Probably like
Oh,
the
wow.
coolest Nintendo character.
Step on me.
Yo.
Fuck
What?
off.
You fuck right off, mate.
Bitch, she got that fucking Metroid DNA. She's gonna drain the fucking blood out. Yeah.
He's gonna drain something out of me.
Yo.
What?
Yo.
You
Yo.
keep setting him up
horrendous.
and I keep knocking him down.
You were down
She's
bad.
gonna fucking kill you. You are down bad. Down substantially. Go touch some grass.
Listen, buddy, you can't get much lower than hell. I'm just saying it. Can't get much
That
more
is
down.
true. That is true. That is very true.
I'll go to your house and give you like a pot of grass so you can touch it whenever you need to.
Alright, good luck with that.
Okay.
Again.
Back to the.
Yeah, alright.
There was
What else happened in this
There was
silly direct?
There's a game coming out soon, Taiko no Tatsujin, with 76 songs. That's coming out later this year. I think the highlight of that was like
Is-
because like I think
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the songs was like Megalovania, if I'm not mistaken, from like
Oh, yeah.
Undertale.
What is
Rhythm
it?
game.
Is it a rhythm game?
I like the art style of that rhythm game. It looks really
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, I think.
Cute. I like
Megalovania
it.
showing up everywhere.
Yeah.
We
of
can
course.
skip that damn song. But I think it looks really cool. I'm not the biggest rhythm game guy. I'm just not that good at them. But I like the art style and the music they chose is pretty good. They have like Megalovania. I think they have like the Zelda theme, so that's cool.
Yeah, because like
Cool for a
Megalovania is
rhythm game.
definitely
Anyways,
everywhere, especially in that game. Like, I heard even like the fucking Pope had Megalovania playing. So.
Yeah,
Bro.
they do. Fucking
It's
whack.
because Matt Peck gave him a copy of Undertale once.
When things get wacky, but when wacky gets you.
Yeah, that's.
No one has ever not heard Megalovania once in their life.
Yeah.
We've all heard Megalovania at least once.
Everyone and their mother.
It only
have
takes
heard-
a single note. It only takes a single note.
If you told me there was somebody who hadn't listened to Megalovania,
Alright,
I'd be laughing.
They announced MLB The Show, and they put MLB The Show on Switch, and it actually looks like it runs at 2 frames per second.
No, you're giving the Switch hardware too much credit. It runs at half a frame per second.
Yeah, why would you put MLB The Show on like the Switch? Why?
I don't
Yeah.
know. They need a baseball
Who knows?
game.
Listen. The Switch is on a quest to throw everything on it. It's like it's the video game console equivalent of Doom.
They want to throw everything. They want to throw everything onto the Switch except GameCube games.
It was like you gotta keep in mind like simulation games, simulation sports games on the Nintendo Switch. They don't go very well. Like I remember because like they decided to put like WWE 2K18 on the Switch. And that was an absolute mess compared to the PS4 and Xbox versions. Like, oh my god, that ran at like 5 frames per second, if I recall correctly. It was that bad.
Hey,
To the point they never did it
Nintendo,
again until like
if you
2K
want a
Battlegrounds, and that was
sports game-
that.
If you want a
Yeah.
baseball game on your console, just make another fucking Mario. Just make another fucking Mario Sluggers game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just make
Yeah.
another one of those. Those are good.
Oh, put Mario Superstar
Super Sluggers
Baseball
was
on
awesome.
Switch. Why haven't they done that? I bet
Question.
What's not on the Switch?
I prefer Sluggers. Sluggers better than Superstar.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, Sluggers or Superstar?
Like Mario Super Sluggers or Mario Superstar Baseball to the Switch.
That's not a game on the Switch. Mario
I know, we're
Superstar
talking
is
about-
baseball
we're
is
talking
not a
about the
game.
idea of
There was
we're-
one Mario.
We're talking about the idea of porting them to the Switch because like they're putting MLB The Show on the Switch and it looks fucking awful.
Anyways, back to something else. Another anime game, but this time Hyrule Warriors flavored. Wait, no, just Warriors flavored.
So they put they're on there. They're like kind of like Japanese RPGs, like Live Alive. I like the style of it. The 3D pixel artwork's really good. It's cool. More games are actually getting localized since those are probably a good game that hasn't really seen a live day just because they won't what I was Jin. And so that's cool. That's coming to Switch, and it makes me even sadder because they will localize everything but Mother 3.
Live
You're not
Alive
wrong.
beating its arch nemesis Kill La Kill.
Anyways, what I was talking about was Fire
God damn
Emblem
it.
Warriors.
Alright,
What else? Oh yeah.
so I'm trying to think. I think they announced. Crap, I'm trying to think.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh yeah, so they announced like a couple of collections. They announced the Assassin's Creed collection, and just like MLB The Show, it looks like it runs at 2 frames per second.
Oh yeah, it's the Assassin's Creed collection.
So
You know,
yeah.
This is what I think somebody mentioned that Nintendo had that Nintendo probably could have used an updated NVIDIA Tegra chip, but they chose not to. In
Keep
my
production costs down.
yeah, true, that is true. I mean, in my personal opinion, they probably should have gone the route that I think the Steam Deck. They should have just gone the route that the Steam Deck did,
Actually,
and gotten like that AMD APU that probably would have kicked a lot more ass than a literal tablet CPU. But
Come to think of it, the Steam Deck has been having a lot more hardware problems than they thought they would.
that
I
is
think
fair.
Nintendo is getting too much crap for their shoddy hardware design. Just a little bit.
I mean, you gotta think about it. It's still, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just gonna be a motherfucking tablet. You know, if you think about it, there's only so much they can do before it starts to become, issue.
Over-engineered.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that the engineers probably figured they could stuff something more powerful in there, but they probably too.
Nintendo's really good at just making really good games on underdeveloped hardware. But then like when they try to like pour other shit to it from like next gen consoles, it just doesn't quite look the best. Like in some cases it looks okay, but in some cases it doesn't.
Speaking of porting, Portal.
Yeah.
Portal, yeah, Portal. It looks pretty good. I haven't played any of the Portal games yet, though. They look very good, so I might pick them up when I get the chance.
Hope they put TF2 on there too while they're at it.
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't know about the other either, but I hope Valve makes more games for the Switch, or at least ports more
I
games.
hope
to the
Valve
Switch.
makes video. I hope Valve makes video games.
Yeah, me too.
You know what? I just decided to look this up because I felt like it. It turns out that the Nintendo Switch operating system is based on the 3DS operating system, and
Yeah,
Android.
that seems about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that's why Game Freak can't stop making Switch Pokemon games that look like 3DS games. That makes sense.
But there was well, how the freak do they make it look a billion times worse than Breath of the Wild, which came out which was the first game on the system, more or less.
I have no idea. Like, I don't understand why Game Freak can't make a good-looking game. Like, you're like the number one most grossing media franchise. Like, do you not have a budget?
I guess their goal is not to particularly make the most beautiful looking thing, and they definitely succeeded in that.
I think Legends Arceus is still a pretty good game, though. I just wish it was prettier.
Yeah, it was good. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when this actually reminds me of way back when I was actually like when I found out that Nvidia's Tegra was used in the Switch. I actually was wondering like what if they had like GeForce Experience on the Switch and you could like do some crazy shit with the Tegra, which would absolutely never ever happen because putting that much power in the end user's hands when 99.9% of your user base has no clue what the fuck they're doing would literally be the biggest fucking liability you could ever think of. But it's just cool to think about, you know? It's just cool to think about that shit sometimes. Like,
Stuff is gonna catch
Imagine.
on fire.
yeah,
Stuff is
stuff's gonna
catching
catch
on
on fire. Exactly. Yeah, that shit's not gonna go well. It would be cool. It would be nice. It would be interesting to have like, you know, the fucking what is it, the FPS counter and that kind of thing, but that doesn't matter for console users. That, like, as far as I can tell, at least, nobody's gonna give a shit. Not a single fucking damn person using the console is gonna give a flying fuck about that.
Yeah, especially a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, I would think that it would be cool if you could like voluntarily like I think if I remember correctly, the Switch has like a boost mode that it goes into whenever you dock it. Yeah, it would be cool if you could like toggle that voluntarily yourself at the cost of battery life and higher thermals, but it would be cool if you could do that in portable mode, you know, just to get a little bit more FPS or something, but again, that's not going to make much of a difference. And I think the Switch's hardware does kind of show its limitations because they've had to have several games that are run on the cloud in order to like they have to cloud stream it in order for it to run on the Switch.
I've played Nintendo I've played on Nintendo consoles enough to not give a piss about resolution.
Yeah, the curse of
I'm
the
a
Nintendo fan.
head.
Yeah, let me actually look this up because I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 4 got ported to the Switch. Does it need cloud saving? I mean, not cloud saving, but cloud.
It's a digital only, basically.
Yeah, hang on.
No, you're not telling me that like PS2, Xbox, GameCube game cannot run on a Nintendo Switch. You're lying to me. Resident Evil 4, you're telling me. You're lying to
So
me.
they're already having enough trouble with N64 games. You think they're moving up to GameCube?
No, like, but that's like there's no way the Switch cannot at least run that. Like, you're lying to me if you're telling me fucking Resident Evil 4 SG fucking.
Oh no, it looks like as far as I can tell, reading the Wikipedia page, it doesn't say anything about cloud streaming. So I would assume it runs fine on my computer. Like with the original, like even with the HD graphics, it runs at 60 FPS more often than not.
So you're not telling me like the original Kingdom Hearts cannot like run on Nintendo Switch for cloud streaming. You're lying to me.
Yeah.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts on like the cloud on the Switch yet, but from what I understand, it is not going well with audiences. Like they're especially mad that it's selling pretty well, especially in Japan. Last I checked, Kingdom Hearts on the Switch was actually the #2 most selling game over there in Japan. So a lot of people are mad about that because that's gonna make Nintendo think that okay, people actually like it that they're doing that. So.
I mean, I know people. Kingdom Hearts is a pretty popular franchise. It seems to be in high regard. I just never really got into it.
Yeah. So, but I guess it could work as like an alternative for like if people don't have like a PlayStation, I guess, to play it. But
People just get so when I'm seeing funny Disney characters on screen.
if you do have a PlayStation, you just play Kingdom Hearts on that instead. It's better for you, I guess. Back to the direct because we had a lot of talk about Kingdom Hearts on the Switch and stuff like that. There is Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. It's a remake of the game.
I heard those are like Game Boy Advance games that were like actually really good. They're again like Fire Emblem. It's like a tactical RPG with like guns and tanks, which makes it infinitely better in every way.
It's been around. They've been talking about that since before Breath of the Wild 2 was announced. I don't think there's much stock in that.
It's cool that they're recognizing more the more obscure games, so that's neat to see Nintendo do that.
They're never gonna give them another game again. This is their
That's sure, yeah. It's like, here, have a remake. That's the best you get.
Yes.
So, what else did they put in there?
There's a remake of Front Mission called Front Mission First coming to the Switch.
Oh.
Never heard of that, honestly.
What the fuck is Front Mission?
I have no fucking idea, so... You know what?
What the fuck is
Front Mission? We're not going to talk about that. Let's just move on from that and just get to... There's another game coming out. It's called Disney Speedstorm. It's basically a free-to-play racing game with Disney characters, so... That's...
It looks like a part of a mobile game.
Yeah, that sounds like a mobile game.
It looks like a part of a mobile game, but it looks fine.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like it's sort of kind of like Disney's version of Mario Kart, but that can't be the case because they did like Mickey Speedway USA for like the GameCube way back in like 2000.
Because as we know, if you're in like a car, you're playing Mario Kart.
Pretty much. I guess
my favorite Mario Kart game is Grand Theft Auto 5.
I have a feeling somebody may or may not have modded Grand Theft Auto 5 with like Mario characters. I can't be so sure, but I do. But people will do anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's GTA 5. You think they wouldn't put Mario characters in there yet?
I have a feeling they actually did that. Wait a minute. They might have. I saw stuff like that for like San Andreas, there's something. There's like Super Real Mario Odyssey, which is like the closest to like GTA Mario as you'll get.
Is it cursed?
Oh lord. I am not used to seeing long Mario.
I remember that. Yeah.
There's that. There's also there's we actually saw a free update for Metroid Dread come out on the same day as the direct that was actually announced. There's
They gave
also
it a hardcore mode, easier mode for new players who just want to get into the franchise, since Dread is known for being a pretty difficult game, so that's fun. They're also giving it like a boss rush mode later in the year, which is cool. Too bad I lost my copy of Dread, so I'm never going to be able to do that.
I have
You
You
I-
lost
I-
your
I-
copy
I-
of Dread already, my dude.
How?
No, yeah, I don't know where it went.
That
I
game
haven't
is,
took
that game is barely a year
out of the
old.
house
What do you
since
mean?
fuck-
It's not even a year old. It's like a few months old at most.
I swear, I haven't taken the fucking game out of this house since like December. I don't know where the fuck it went. But I did beat the game before I lost it, so that's good.
Heck yeah. Anyways, yeah, they added a masochist mode as along with an easy mode.
Yeah, I did a masochist mode. You ever just want to play a game? You ever just want to play a mode that makes the game not fun?
Yeah. So there's.
All right.
I think we've already almost covered just about everything
There's
on this
movie.
direct. Like, there's actually still some more to talk about. Like, there's a remaster of a Chrono Cross game coming on April 7th.
Oh yeah, I did not know what that was until the direct. So that's.
There's also
It looks neat.
yeah.
But like the cool shit about that is like Chrono Cross also features like a Satellaview game as a bonus. If you don't know what Satellaview is, it was basically like this Japanese it was like this Japanese kind of like TV channel thing where like you could play like exclusive games from like a broadcasted satellite, and like one of those was like it was like called like Into Dreams or some shit, and that's included in the Chrono Cross remix. That's really fucking cool that they acknowledged the Satellaview's existence.
Yeah. So
I'll never hear of it again.
because like
That's
I'm
really
99%
cool,
sure
honestly.
like the Satellaview itself was like very very obscure. So like I'm surprised they actually did like.
Yes, it's
some-
very obscure, but it's still really cool that they remember that thing exists, because
Yeah,
you know
That
those games.
that's like if Sega decided to remaster like stuff from like I was gonna
No,
bring
it's
up,
not that they're remastering it. It's just that like. No, it's not like it's like a thing you can buy separately. Like the little like Satellaview game is like a bonus you get along with like Chrono Cross. It's not like its own like separate thing you can buy. It's just like a bonus you get with it.
that makes sense. Let's see. Because I actually have a website just basically recaps everything we saw. SD Gundam Battle Alliance sometime this year. I don't know what the hell that is, honestly.
I have no clue what that is.
I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, nobody knows or cares.
I don't think anybody cares.
There's also there's the Star Wars The Force Unleashed. That's also heading to the thing this year. Seems fun. I for a while I was very much into Star Wars for like a cup of coffee, I guess. I didn't last too long, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds kind of boring. All just sounds kind of boring. No fun.
Yeah. And it looks like we've actually it seems like we've already covered everything there is to cover for like the direct, but we're not gonna end it there because like I feel like there's still a lot to talk about with like some like the big games, the bigger games, and like their predecessors, I guess. Plus, we're only 49 minutes in, so we still have at least like what 15 or so minutes to spare. So I guess we come back to our discussion about Mario Strikers Battle League, I guess. Again, we hadn't seen a Mario Strikers game in like over a decade. I think it's actually been like 15 years, if I recall correctly.
That's nothing compared to Metroid.
Oh yeah, because like
We're all still waiting.
Oh
we're all
wait!
still
Oh,
waiting
speaking
for
of
an F-Zero
Metroid,
game.
I know they've actually been hinting heavily at Metroid Prime 4 coming out, because like there's I think because like I saw like, for those who don't know, there's a company called Retro Studios. They updated their banner on like Twitter, and the banner is actually basically a silhouette of Samus, which gives a lot of us hope that they're actually gonna start reworking on the next Metroid Prime 4. But
Right. Here's the real question.
But like the thing with Metroid Prime 4, that's basically been in like development hell, basically. What development hell means is like it's basically like when something sits through development for like so long that it like you just don't even think like they're gonna get it done, and it just takes several years to figure things out. Like, and the problem is, they first announced Metroid Prime 4 in June 2017 for E3 2017, and to this day, February 19th, 2022, we have not seen the game come out yet. Like, it's basically still in development. On January 27th, actually, Retro Studios said they were still looking for engineers to develop the game. So that's kind of a problem when you consider how long it's been developed. I understand video games take time, but when you keep in mind that it's been so anticipated for like 5 years, you kind of just start to get worried.
It makes me wonder how big the game scale actually is, like how big they were planning to make it.
I bet they're trying to make it take like a big step for like Metroid games, so like they're trying to figure out how they can really do.
Well, so how big do we know how big the current team size is? Because
I have no idea because I don't really
it actually feels similar to like Bayonetta 3, because like Bayonetta 3 was actually initially announced on December 7th, 2017. We didn't get a proper announcement. We got an announcement. We actually didn't get more news until like the September 2021 direct. If I recall correctly, that's kind of something I wanted to touch on, because like those are definitely two games that have been stuck in like hell for like the past few years.
For me, like, I don't mind, I guess, not getting updates if it means that they're not going to make a promise they can't keep. I would rather the developers just, even if nothing comes out of it, oh well. But like, at the very least, like, don't pull a Cyberpunk, don't pull a fucking, whatever the hell, just don't. Like, I swear, it's like no AAA game can come out without bugs these days. And I guess, if Metroid 4 is Metroid Prime 4, whatever, is a AAA game, maybe they'll actually manage to release a AAA game that doesn't have that's not like filled to the brim with bugs, if they just take their fucking time instead of, getting super excited and getting way ahead of themselves and then making announcements and then promises they can't keep. I swear, like, I'm not even joking when I say that for the past like year or so that I've been like,
No, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
What?
Nothing. I was sorry. I was talking to myself.
Okay. Well, because, like, if there's anything I can say about AAA games and, like, my past year or so of playing a lot of them, it's like, I swear to God, there is only one developer / publisher that has ever released any AAA video games that I've played so far this past year that wasn't completely riddled with bugs. And that's probably like Capcom. Like, Resident Evil Village had 0 technical issues when I played it. And then, like, you go to play Cyberpunk 2077 or Dying Light 2, and it's, Dying Light 2 ain't nearly as bad as Cyberpunk, but, like, they're still, like, they got a lot of bugs and shit. And it's like, if the Metroid Prime 4 developers just take their time and end up pulling a Capcom and not releasing a game that has, like, a shitload of bugs in it, then good stuff. And I really fucking hope that Capcom doesn't, end up releasing Resident Evil 9 in like a few years and it has like a shitload of bugs. Otherwise, they can go fuck themselves.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's my rant about.
We like it's honestly it's better. But at the see. Oh yeah. I was thinking about Cyberpunk 2077. I think that was first announced in like 2012, and like when it came out in like 2020 or 2021, it was an absolute mess, especially for like.
Yeah, and I know why. I kind of know why. Part of it, because if I remember correctly, they actually completely reset the game mid-development. Like, it was like, about 4 or so years in, they completely fucking reset everything, and which means that they probably had to rewrite the game engine from scratch too. And it seems like, oh yeah, Battlefield 2042, another example of a AAA game that recently came out that's just fucking hell to play. Like you cannot, it's literally unplayable. But it's what, like, this is an issue that I see a lot among custom written game engines, like game engines that are built in house. Is that they have this issue a lot where the developers tend to screw that up, and the game just does not. It just doesn't work. Like, I mean, for, like, I think again, like Capcom, like RE Engine somehow manages to be mostly bug free. I mean, yeah, there's technical issues. They're gonna pop up no matter what. But like, I have never had Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 8, have any technical issues, for me at least. But like Red Engine 4, which is what Cyberpunk uses, or C Engine, which is what Dying Light 2 uses, or Frostbite, or I can't remember if it's either Frostbite or if it's a different engine, which is what Battlefield 2042 uses. That typically what I see is that most of the game-breaking shit happens on the engine level, and that's like, that's like how you can tell is like something, like things like Cyberpunk's like mountain of bugs or Battlefield being literally unplayable. Usually that's something is rattling loose within the engine code. That's an engine level bug for the most part. Like, yeah, in Unreal Engine, the same shit's gonna happen if you're a dumbass, and I've almost had that shit happen to me before. But I usually, like, before I, like, go to test it, I'll be like, oh wait, shit, did I check this or something? I'll go fix it, recompile it, and then it works fine. But you can make those issues. It's just much less likely to happen if the engine was written properly from the ground up. And so because of that, if they reset development mid to, like 4 years in, so chances are the engine probably had to be completely rewritten as well. So that gave them not a whole lot of time to completely rewrite the engine. By the time they were done, they probably didn't have a whole lot of time left, which led to all the crunching that CDPR talked about, and just led to an overall terrible game. So, not terrible game. I personally I love Cyberpunk, but that's what led to all the technical issues.
I've never played it, but it looks fine. Just not really my thing.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is actually
It's a perfectly serviceable game, but just isn't that exciting due to like what it was built up to be. So that's why a lot of people.
Yeah, it does not live up to what they said it was gonna be, and that's kind of disappointing. But I honestly wasn't really playing Cyberpunk straight up for like the raw story and such an immersive world. I was more or less just playing it because I just wanted a new game to play, and I also wanted to take inspiration from it. Like I play games for the mechanics more than I do for the story in the game world, which is probably which is like Cyberpunk. It's got, in my opinion, relatively like decently good mechanics. I wouldn't say it's like fucking filthy rich like some crazy god tier RPGs might be, but it's good mechanics, and I take inspiration from that. But Cyberpunk, it's way better than it was on launch. Like, it is vastly improved ever since launch day. So yeah,
at least they've been working on improving it after
They're working on improving it. They acknowledge it. They kind of fucked up. So yeah.
Yeah. Ever since they fucked that up, the initial release really matters so much, dude. You fuck that up, you fuck up that initial release, and it's pretty much game over. So you cannot afford to fuck up.
Unless you're Nintendo.
Unless you're Nintendo, yeah. If you're Nintendo, you can just fuck up anything, and people are still gonna buy your shit. But yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing for. Yeah.
I mean, like, and I know I like sound a lot like a Capcom fanboy when I'm talking about that shit. Like when I was talking about RE Engine being good, and like how they like the games I played from them never really have any technical issues. If that sounds like that, just know that I very much despise Resident Evil 6, and I won't forgive them for that. So I guess that makes me.
I don't know what Resident Evil 6 is. So.
You don't know what Resident Evil 6 is?
No, I do not.
Probably for the better, because like, it's not a horrendous game on its own, but it is a terrible Resident Evil game. So probably for the better.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back on the
Back
other
there.
topic, I guess.
I think we covered like everything in substantial in the direct. I think maybe like we missed like one game that nobody gives a piss about, but like that's about it.
Yeah.
I
Nah,
don't know
bro.
why Xenoblade is getting so much love. Honestly,
Yeah.
it doesn't even sell that
well. It's Xenoblade became more popular as time goes on. It just says like I don't. I think the first game it had a decent amount of fun with it. I need to finish that, but it's like really fucking long. The second one I heard was like people like it was more divisive. Like people, there were people that liked it and people that hated it. So I don't know. And then so I think Xenoblade is a fairly popular series. It's not like the most popular AP, but I know there's a decent amount of people who like it.
I haven't never played Xenoblade, but I did see a lot in my in the. You know how like the Switch has that like news thing or whatever it is. That's usually where I'd catch all that stuff. Is in the news section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's like all in all, there are a lot of fun games to look forward to on the Switch. I, for one, am definitely excited for Splatoon 3. I think because like I know they're going for a lot. It's going to be a lot different compared to how 2 and 1 were. So that's something I should probably look forward to. Like I knew it was going to be different from like the moment I saw like the fucking flip the fucking basically they flipped the fucking Eiffel Tower. How fucking dirty. But that's a joke I have. But if there's one game I would definitely recommend you stay away from if you're trying to play it on like the Switch, definitely don't. I wouldn't recommend playing like Kingdom Hearts on the cloud because like you can't play it if you're offline. So like it's again you're better off playing it on the PlayStation. So
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
of course there's Portal and Portal 2 to look forward to when they hit the Switch.
Yeah, that'll be nice. It's just, this sounds like so sarcastic, honestly, but yeah, that'll be nice. Unfortunately, I already own both of them on PC, where they arguably run a bajillion times better than they ever will on the Switch.
I failed to see the argument in that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, hey, you get to take it on the go. Which reminds me, I have not reinstalled Portal. What am I fucking doing? Bro.
dang, what do you mean not yet?
Too late, whoever you are.
That
And there
is
he goes.
Matthew. Or it was Matthew. Nigga just pieced out. So, anyways,
I think we discussed all we possibly can at the current moment.
Yes, and
We'll
plus
just call
we
that a
are
wrap.
yeah.
we are almost an hour and 3 minutes into this, so I think it's about time we start to wrap things up. So, just to summarize the MILFcast, just to summarize here on MILFcast, the Nintendo Direct had a lot of fun games to look forward to, and also some games that you should. It's probably not worth buying. There are definitely a lot of like AAA games that really raise the quality of the Direct itself. Because otherwise, if it weren't for like the big titles like Splatoon 3, Salmon Run, the next wave that's again coming out of the summer, inconsistent because like the first trailer had a Salmon as an ally. Here we are battling them again, as I said. Oh, that reminds me, the fucking Splatoon 3. It's still not the same. Like communication with other players in Splatoon 3, apparently it's the same old shit. You only have two commands for like if you're actually communicating in game. So like I need my fuck you button, Nintendo. Where's my fuck you button? I want to tell my teammates they suck donkey dick. Okay, that for
No, maybe it's the people like you or why they don't have a voice chat system.
Yeah.
but
That's
hey,
fair enough.
if you're looking for like chatting with other Switch gamers, just use Discord at this point. Discord is just like a
Yeah.
times better.
Yeah, I don't know why
Don't they have that-
doesn't fucking implement voice chat into their console. Like, I don't know why. it's
Didn't they
taking
have
so long.
that Switch companion app or whatever the hell it was for your phone where you could voice
Yeah,
chat?
but
Yes,
like
I don't know
that.
why they didn't did that.
Yeah, but that I don't remember.
Yeah.
That. I don't remember that.
No
I
idea
don't
why
remember
they
that
did
going so well. Like,
Yeah,
Like,
just
I-
use fucking Discord, bro.
yeah, wasn't there something like I heard something on the Daniel Bandy's channel when he talked about how it triggers you or something like that, like the Splatoon 2 triggers you. I don't know. Like if you wanted to try and voice chat, it was like limited and you couldn't leave the app while you were at it. So like again, you're better off using Discord because like if you use Discord with voice chat on your phone, you can still communicate while the app is running in the background. So that's definitely a major advantage of that.
Definitely, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So had
Well, I
it
think
not,
we basically covered everything.
go ahead. Like you were gonna say
We
something.
basically covered it. Holy shit. They showed Rogue Company.
Well, and
Yeah, where's that?
that's it.
Yeah, that's
guess.
basically.
Yeah.
If it
Well,
weren't
see you Chads later. Remember, stay funny, and
Yeah,
remember, stay in school and don't do drugs.
If it
Stay
weren't
in drugs,
piracy.
go to school.
if it weren't for like a lot of the if it weren't for like just a lot of the games like if you kept like some of the other games like Kingdom Hearts, MLB The Show, and like some other lower over games on that, then this MILFcast would have gotten like a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10 rather have sex. But overall, it was a very enjoyable direct. When I first watched it, I was genuinely up out of my
give
seat
the direct a
when I
full
saw
10.
certain titles be revealed. I remember especially getting hyped for like another Splatoon 3 trailer, even though we knew the game was coming out already. So in general, I'm going to give it a shut up and take my money. I'm going to give the February 2022 Nintendo Direct a 7.5 out of 10.
I give it a solid like 7 or 6.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I literally do not give a shit about it because
You know
I
what?
don't
I'm-
actually own a Switch anymore.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes, so
Don't
that-
give a crap either,
so-
but for a different reason.
So yes, that was
Alright,
a Nintendo
well-
Direct for you. Needless to say, it was good, had some flaws, but without further ado, we seem to
We
be
finally
done
did-
here. As of right now, I have been joined by PK, Rolo, and Will. So, this is the part where we cut it out. Again, I'm rating it 7.5
I mean, they
out of
acknowledge
10.
Mother's existence, so like that's all I really care about at the end of the day. They like actually acknowledge the Earthbound's existence, so I'm happy.
Yay.
So,
Good old
All right,
mother.
well, my phone's gonna die, so bye.
yeah,
Alright,
so
later.
that'll
Have a
do
good
it.
day.
I'm your host, Epic Mario, and this has been MILFcast.